But yeah, like this, if he had air dodged over here, you probably wouldn't have been able to track it as well. So, I guess we'll just look at it here. Okay, we went a little bit far forward instead of backward, but yeah, so here, this is what happened here is you're supposed to walk back before you forward tilt. So basically, assume Yoshi is going for max distance. So from here, you can see Yoshi's max drift is going to hit here. So you know where his max is, so just stay outside of the max and then swing. So like you could have dropped off to the right instead of down, but dropping down is fine because if you had just walked off to the right, this fair would have whiffed and you could have whiff punished it with the forward tilt. Now, granted, you're not trying to whiff punish forward tilt, you're just forward tilting. And then you're not covering the spot so that if he wanted to stay safe, he could have just cornered himself. And here he's just mashing. But yeah, to go back to what we were looking at. Okay, so we get this back here. Yeah, so here you want to just immediately instant double jump up air while hard drifting to the right, and then fast fall. And so your arc is going to go like this. So, like I said, this all worked out. Yeah, so here you generally want to focus on being away from Yoshi, not crossing him up. Like you rolling in here was you trying to mix him up so that you could scrap. So you basically wanted to position yourself to attack afterwards. You don't have to attack, you just avoid Yoshi. And then eventually he dies from running into your sword. But yeah, this roll sets up for this. And the same thing happened with the forward tilt. The forward tilt situation popped up because you weren't focused on weaving around him, you were focused on fighting him. So you're basically spacing a character length closer to him than you're supposed to be because you want to be in space to hit him. So do you remember what I was saying about there being 3 spaces? Yeah. So basically there's the Yoshi space. There's a space that's a Yoshi around Yoshi. And then basically which Yoshi it is relative to you. So there's the Yoshi in front of Yoshi. There's the Yoshi behind Yoshi. The Yoshi behind Yoshi punishes him for walking back like I'm telling you to do. So I'm telling you to stop punishing the Yoshi behind Yoshi and to stop hitting Yoshi altogether and only cover the Yoshi that's in front of Yoshi. So you're only spacing to hit this. So you're never trying to hit Yoshi. You want to whiff. And then if he presses a button to attack you, then he gets hit. So basically, you don't care if the game times out. You are preventing him from interacting with you. You are not trying to interact with him. Essentially. So here, if you fast fall Nair here, so there's this Yoshi that you can hit. So you can hit this Yoshi by landing here and using the edge of Nair. And you'll notice that that has you about outside of Yoshi's forward smash range or grab range. So the trade-off of this is that if Yoshi just tosses an egg here, well, actually your Nair is still going to hit the egg and destroy it. But it basically means that if Yoshi moves back here and throws an egg, you're not stopping him from doing that. So there's a trade-off for everything. Don't get me wrong, but here the idea is that you don't care about hitting Yoshi, you just want to cover the space. So you specifically, if Yoshi tries to dash up smash you or jump in and hit you, then that Yoshi gets hit. The Yoshis that don't try and hit you or just throw shit at you, those Yoshis get away with it. Well, honestly, I'm not even asking you to be intelligent about it. I'm just asking you to basically just focus on not hitting him and hitting around him. So I have no problem with you just swinging the big sword. That is fine. It's where you're swinging the big sword. And so you are consistently swinging to hit him. So I'm just asking you to change one small element of it. So switch from this Yoshi to this Yoshi. And yeah, like here, you did not need to drift into this platform for a tech chase. Like you forced yourself into a tech chase here. So if he wasn't bad, he would have hit you for that. Like he wasn't expecting the tech chase, which is why he's so late on this, because it never even entered his mind that you would force yourself into a tech chase. Like it surprised him. And that's why he goes for down air here, is because he was ready to hit tech in place and then drift over here to cover tech roll away. Mhm. Yeah, so your best option here was actually not teching, missing the tech, and then get up attacking on reaction to him doing anything, and just using the invulnerability to catch him. And that's something that Sean does. So yeah, here. So you're going for an up air here, but you're up here, and he's down here. It's not time for up air. Up air is when he jumps, not when you jump. Well, I specifically bringing this up because after you do this the second time, I realized I couldn't say, "Oh, well, you're not up airing, but you need to stop up airing." So, because that's the exact sequence of this, and it's all in 20 seconds. So, yeah, the new so basically you up air when he's above you. You don't up air when you're above him. So that you die for this, or you should have died for this. Yeah, stop that. Like, what were you countering it, honestly? I see that. Yeah, if you're worried about runoff fair, just buffer the directional air dodge to the ledge here. So, yeah. So, he pulls the dummy and just goes out here and tries to challenge your up B. I can relate. Yeah, and then this was not a great thing for you to do. So yeah, here, just parry the egg and forward tilt or back air. Like you could have put out a back air here after his yeah, so you could have just stayed here, shielded the egg, and then short hop back air to preemptively cover this egg if he threw it. And then worst case scenario is you whiff a back air while he grabs the ledge. Yeah. Well, in this particular case, the reason it's not ideal is because if he had just grabbed the ledge here instead of tossing an egg, then he could have just got up smashed you, or ledge drop up aired you, and you were dead. So, uh, I am not saying to parry the egg necessarily. I'm saying that as your secondary plan, like your less difficult plan, is just hold the shield button, wait for the first egg to hit your shield, and then put out a back air. And you wanted to time the back air to preemptively cover him trying to toss a second egg. So this is you fairing him. Do you remember what you have to do before you fair? Okay. Did you earn this fair? Would it have killed? Okay. Was it gonna force a ledge trap? So why didn't you just up air? Now, granted, I don't want you to have up aired here either because where are you? Where is Yoshi? Okay. Is it time for you to start attacking? Like, are you in advantage here? No. So it's not time to press the buttons. It is time to reset to neutral. So just jump away. Jump away, use your air dodges. Attacks are still a mix up for when you can tell that he's waiting for your air dodge. But here, he's not waiting for shit. He's just swinging at you. And so he is happy with this trade. Like if that forward air had swung and hit him, it would have meant that his up air was hitting you. He was happy for that. And oh no, you put him at 90%. And oh yeah, you also lost your stock for it. And oh no, you also lost your one wing. So it's harder for you to kill him twice over because you don't have rage, you don't have one wing, and then now his trades mean more because you're on your next stock. So here, yeah, so this is fine. So here, you rolling back and not rolling into him means that you reset neutral and he's not in your face. Unfortunately, you run into him. So here, okay, that's fine. Yeah, so you wanted to dash forward and you could just upward angle forward tilt up here. And the reason for that, notice Yoshi is not here. Yoshi is not in this area. So he's not going to get hit by forward tilt unless he jumps in, which he did. So basically, you want to punish him for pressing buttons toward you. And then if he's chilling out over here, he gets away with it. But he's not getting away with anything because he's trying to jump into your hitboxes and you're just not giving him any rope to hang himself on. So that was fine. Okay. So here, see this back air, if he had just walked away, he would have been fine. If he'd stood in place, it might have even whiffed. But because he jumped, he got hit. Yeah, so this back air, or the second back air was much less good. So this one, so not only are you not just covering him moving into you, but you can see that he pretty much has to move into you at some point. Now he can drift out and then drift back in, but either way, he's going to drift in at some point. Because if he does not drift into you at any point, then he will die. Because gravity will pull him into the blast zone. So if gravity was not in the game, this would be a different situation. If this was still neutral, this is not neutral. There is a time limit on how long Yoshi can spend out, and he's going to be pressured to move into the stage at some point. So you put out this back air, and it works, but barely. Like if he pretend that he just now, granted, he's facing away from you, but you aren't back airing here because he's facing away from you. You're back airing here because he's here. So if he had been facing the other direction, he could have traded a fair with this back air, which wouldn't have killed you, but it would have reset neutral. And so here, what you could have done instead is you could have just back aired here and then started drifting onto the platform. And then not only does that do that, but then you can drop through back air from the platform to put out a second back air. Correct? Yeah. So you're gonna land like right here. So what would have happened is you would have been here. Back air still would have hit him here, by the way, because you see all this length. So we're gonna take this. It's putting my finger on the screen. That's about an inch on my screen, and then putting it over here. An inch still puts you on the platform here. And then on top of that, the sword is actually more range than it looks like. So you would have very comfortably still hit him. I shouldn't say very. You would have comfortably still hit him and you would be here. And then if he air dodges here, then you could have actually dropped through the platform and put out a second back air and hit his air dodge for the air dodging the back air. And yeah, so you basically get two back airs for one. So here, you're going to have to land completely before you can put out a second back air. So you would have gotten twice the back air. You would have taken less risk because he couldn't have hit you because your back air would have been spaced further. Let me phrase, your hurt box would have been further from him. So you would have been less likely to be hit. You would have had twice as much back air. Like it's just win-win. Like there is no actual loss for you here. And then his counter for that is to just drift off. So to drift at you to make you think that he's going to drift at you and then drift away. So here he drifts here, and then if he had drifted away here, well, your back air still would have covered that because you drifted in like that. So you covered him moving away. So of the three Yoshis, you hit this Yoshi, you hit this Yoshi, you hit this Yoshi, and you hit this Yoshi. So you hit every possible Yoshi on this, but you did it at the cost of you could have traded here. And granted, that trade would have still been in your favor. It's just not necessary because this is emblematic of your overarching issue that is going to come up in repeated interactions where you're taking risks that you don't have to take. So here, this is fine. So what I want you here is the fast fall here and double jump fair back onto the stage. And then if he throws egg, you counter that. If he doesn't throw egg or he drifts low, then you forward tilt down at the ledge to try and catch him being up here. If he eggs, you counter on reaction to the egg. Your favorite. So here, yeah, so fast fall. So here, you could have just short hop, or sorry, could have fast falled here and then double jump forward aired up here. You could have swung out here so that if he moves into the ledge, then he gets hit. If he recovers down here, then he doesn't get hit. So basically, back air prevents him from going high. That was good. This prevents him from going mid. That's pretty much free because then you get another try. So then you get a forward tilt or a counter to swing at him for a third edge guard attempt. And then if all that fails, and let's say you counter the egg and he grabs the ledge, then you just walk back and forward tilt. So because now it's ledge trap time. So you get 3 edge guard attempts and a ledge trap attempt. Instead, we have the second swing here. So here, he could have just nared here and you were dead. So I am pointing this out because 4 is not good enough to punish you for these mistakes. But I want to point out the opportunity on behalf of 4. Like if 4 was the other person on this call, then I would be telling him, dude, you need to land with these nairs because you're just leaving stocks on the table. Like he just jumped right into your nair like this and you weren't ready to punish him for it, even though you keep seeing him jumping into attacks. So yeah, this was good. Although you forward tilted a little late here. You should have forward tilted here so that you're covering this space. And so that, again, if he lands here in the corner, he's got it. Because look at where he's consistently dropping. There, he has not once moved away from you. So you're covering something he's never done. Because you wanted the forward tilt to travel through here and hit him over here. But he's never going over here. So you're spacing yourself too close. Yoshi in front of Yoshi, pretty much. So you need to understand that here, where you're hitting where he is. So the Yoshi in front of Yoshi is here. So you're swinging to hit this, and that's where he goes. So you are hitting the Yoshi in front of Yoshi. So like he could not have gone further than this unless he air dodged or did something to boost him. So this is the Yoshi in front of Yoshi. This is how much further past the Yoshi in front of Yoshi you're swinging. So you're hitting this Yoshi. So you need to specifically practice hitting this Yoshi only. So the tip of your sword should be here, because you're not trying to hit him with a strong hit. Now, granted, strong hit would have killed him here, but that's not what you're worried about. You're not worried about taking his stocks. You're worried about defending your own self and making sure he's not aggressing on you. So you are preventing him from interacting with you. You are not trying to interact with him. To reiterate. So if you never hit Yoshi, that's fine. Like, that's fine. So yeah, so here you wanted to short hop back here now. And the reason is because if he keeps drifting in here, he'll hit it. If he just fast falls in place, it'll whiff. And that's fine. Because if he fast falls in place, he has to fast fall in place and then toss an egg at you. I'm sure you're noticing a pattern on what Yoshi has to do to counter what you're doing here. Is he needs to stay outside of your sword range and avoid your sword and throw an egg. So this goes for both of you. You're both supposed to stay out of the range of the other character, and you're both supposed to be abusing your max range and your range advantages to punish the other player. In this particular case, though, if both of you are spacing into each other, then generally Yoshi's moveset is more geared to that because his frame data is better. And you die for this. He did this on reaction, by the way. Y- Yeah, so I want you to understand that basically you should be playing like you are in a 99 stock match. You don't have to make big plays there. It's a matter of the average value of your play. If you are taking big risks for big rewards, and I want to be clear, this isn't even really that big of a reward because up tilt would have killed him just the same here. So you're not really going, or essentially the risk reward is not great for you here because it's more risky than it is rewarding. Actually, rather, I should say the risk reward is the same. Like, this is all in, either it works and you die, or he works and he dies, or it doesn't work and you die. Except you could have done things that if it works, he dies, but if it doesn't work, you don't die. And so you had the same reward available on other moves that didn't have the same risk. But the thing here is that you have that down smash habit. So down smash is for a hard read. If you don't expect somebody to specifically be shielding in this specific place, like the down smash probably wouldn't even have killed him here. So the if he had just nared and pressed buttons, like you would have won the trade for sure. But it wasn't going to kill him. It just would have reset neutral again. Which, granted, resetting neutral is good for you, and it would have been a positive interaction overall. It's just a matter of you had better things on the table. Like if you up tilted here, you would have taken a stock. You would still have to get your stock, and it's harder for him to find your stocks than for you to find his stock. Your goal is almost always to move away from him, whereas his goal is, don't get me wrong, he wants to move away from you and throw shit at you too, but he can't take your stocks with eggs. He has to use those eggs to set up for a position where he can fight for your stock. Or, in this case, he just jumps in all the way across the goddamn stage and hopes that you down smash to open yourself up. Yeah, so if you had gone for a back air here, so Here, alright, so look at this movement here. Let's say you started a dash dance here, and then cross him up with a back air, and he's DIing back air this way. If he was holding left when the back air hits, and it's a strong spot, he would have died there. So, don't get me wrong, it's not likely. It's a matter of these are things that would have been less likely to kill you. Oh, yeah, and of course you could have also just up smashed, but I don't want you doing that either because it's just as risky. It just would have covered more things in this particular case. Like he could not have done this if you had up smashed. He would have jumped into that. And he would have been very upset when you up smashed and covered him anyways. But yeah, I definitely remember yelling when I saw the down smash on the VOD. So here, so yeah, all right. So you're starting this off okay. So here I wanted to see you drop down with a back air, but this up air is yeah, you should have dropped down with a back air or an up air. So you missed your first aerial. The second one, this up air, you weren't supposed to fast fall it in case he jumped at you all of a sudden. Now, granted, he probably wouldn't have. So this, you can argue that this up air is fine just because you were gonna whiff an aerial no matter what, and so minimizing the time that you're whiffing the aerial instead of attacking him is a reasonable choice. But you still missed that first aerial swing in the that would have covered him being over here. The up air you put out is fine. This entire absence of a button is not fine because you just had a free swing there. A nearly free swing. It didn't auto cancel, but still. The mo the moment you gain control of your or the moment you can drop from the angel platform, your invulnerability starts. And so it is running down while you're standing up there. No. No, you get free swings. That's why it's so broken. Because basically you get to pick an option that has the it has the trade-off of, yeah, but you're just moving your hurt box over and they have so long to hit you before it comes out. And so you get to do that. So that's why you'll have like Fox players drop down, dash up smash, and then they'll try and figure out what you're gonna do because the entire up smash is invulnerable, and then they get an action with invulnerable startup after too. So here, I wanted to see you just short hop back here with a back air to hit the egg. And the reason you want to hit him here is because you have invulnerability. So you're not worried about him hitting. You're not worried about trading. Like if he short hop forward airs and you back air, your back air just straight up wins, even if he's hitting your body. That's the difference. And gave him center. Yeah. Y- You're trying to play a mental game. This is not a mental game. This is a technical sport. It's a matter of executing. So you have a basic game plan. And I would rather you leave opportunities to hit him for doing obvious things on the table and for us to be talking about, all right, so these are the opportunities where you're going to start taking risks. Because there will be a point where we have that conversation, but we can't have that conversation if you're just opening yourself up all the time for these things that you think you're seeing that aren't there. And so even if you are seeing things that are there, I don't care. Stop going for it. Like just just play your technical game first. Like when I don't think I've told you before, but I was having a conversation with Sean about your Sephiroth, and I was telling him that I don't think it'll be very long before your Sephiroth is significantly better than Lade's because basically Lade is obviously a much more knowledgeable and experienced player than you, but your technical ability with the character is significantly better than his. And then I watched you coming over here, and what are you using to push your technical ability beyond his? Your dash grabbing. Yeah, that's something Lade can't do. So Lade literally can't do the short hop back airs like you can. Do you remember telling me that you couldn't consistently get a back air out? Yeah. Do you still have that problem? Yeah. So that is an entire advantage you have. So there is no one in Florida who can put out back airs as consistently as you do. And so just putting out your back airs and playing basic, yeah, I'm back airing in place, and sometimes I drift back. That's all you have to do. And that's gonna be a challenge for people to deal with because it's very hard. Like, I have a hard time dealing with it, and I generally rely on you stopping your back airs and forward tilts and drifting into me to hit. And there's just times where I'll just feel like, "Oh my god, there's nothing I can do. This is so fucking broken," and then you'll drift into me, and I'm like, "Oh, thank god." Eh, like, even if I parry the back air, I still can't punish them if they are spaced at the max range. And if you're spacing your back airs to whiff, I'm like, "Well, fuck." Like, I can't punish your whiff back airs, that's where I have to shoot lasers and gyros. But then because you are I'm always afraid that you're just gonna suddenly drift in and hit me for it, even though you're not. So, at that point, that would be the point where we're gonna talk and say, "Oh, yeah, sometimes you wanna drift in," just to make them guess, so that they hesitate to press a button. So, 4 is never hesitating to press a button here, because he already knows. Yeah, like, you're not the first Sephiroth he beat in bracket this day. So, the difference between you is that you're both trying to make these smart decisions, and you're both using similar ledge play, but obviously Lade's ledge play is better than yours, but, like, it doesn't matter because you're not supposed to be on the ledge in the first place. So, like, look at him spot dodging this forward tilt. Like, he's playing in his own head around mix-ups that shouldn't exist. Like, you don't have to dash grab him right here. Like, you don't get that much off of it. And alright, so this is the counter I was talking about. So, if you just put out back air, yeah, this is what he's supposed to do to counter it, but you can just shield that, put out another back air. Yeah, and you see him. So, like, he puts out the egg, so the point of this egg is to make you think, "Oh, I shouldn't back here. I'll get egged." And then as soon as he puts out the egg to show you, "Yeah, I do have a counter to back here. It didn't hit you, and you don't actually really care that if it hits you, but, I showed you my counter, so stop doing that, please, because I can't beat it." And then you stop doing it. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Great. Just short hop back air again. Short hop back air or forward tilt. And the point is that you're spacing to hit this Yoshi. Not this Yoshi. You don't care about him. You hit this Yoshi. You're not gonna get punished for this. I'll tell you what, if you play a set where you're doing this and you get punished for it, just keep doing it, keep getting punished for it, and we're gonna go over that VOD. I will give you an apology, and then we will talk about how to modify. And don't get me wrong, you're not entirely wrong. It is possible to do that. I am telling you, I want you to keep doing this anyways. So I want you to stop being forced out of your technical play by your own self doubts and force your opponents to do it. because your opponents aren't doing shit. You're just you are always the reason you stop doing good things. So here, if you put out this back air and he shields it, he's over here, you're over here, you backdash over here and put out another forward tilt. He tries to short hop forward air from there, and he gets hit by the forward tilt. So what he has to do is he has to shield here, and even if he parries it, he still gets caught by that forward tilt. But if he parries this and then he runs in and shields the forward tilt, then he's in position to short hop in and forward air way back over here into the corner, which is what he has to do because then you're just going to dash back and forward tilt for your third time. So he can't punish the third forward tilt, but he's not going to be able to directly hit you for the first one or two. So if he gets two parries, he gets to hit you. Otherwise, yeah. And at that point, you are still going to be spacing it the same way. What I'm going to have you do differently is I'm going to teach you how to slightly alter your button pressing so that it is automatically preventing people from being able to parry it on a set time. So I'm still going to have you adapt. So, and just to be clear, when I originally taught Manny to play Smash, that was literally the basis that I started teaching him on. That was the original foundation of his fundamentals. Was even if you get hit, just do it again, but do it with a very slightly different timing. And then I taught him how to do that at Sonic, back when Sonic was considered a low tier character. So I just want you to press your buttons and stop choosing to stop pressing your buttons because I know you can play better than this based on your technical ability. Like you're already there, you're just choosing not to because you're getting in your own head and thinking that there's some significant layer of thought between you and 4 when 4 is just trying to press the buttons. So don't get me wrong, 4 has improved a lot, and especially in his mental game. I enjoy seeing his play evolve after all the time and work he's put into it because he's been hard grinding for years and he's just now reaching this level and he's still not top 5 in Tampa by any means, but it makes me happy to see him getting his wins that he's getting. But you are playing around a very different player than what you are playing against. So, uh, the I would say even Vinny is not going to be someone you're going to have to play this complex mental game with. Because when you talk to Vinny, like he'll see things coming up and like he'll be aware of levels of the game, and then he'll intentionally choose to not act on it because there's no point. Hmm. Yeah, so just because you recognize there's a pattern doesn't mean you should stop enforcing that pattern. So, Vinny's solution there, and this is actually something I recommended, was to figure out how to do the same thing in a different way so that you are essentially repeating your pattern with redundancies rather than pressing the same thing. And in your case, this is back air slash forward tilt, which is why I keep referring to it as back air and forward tilt. Because 4 is going to see back air and he's going to see forward tilt. You punish both of these things largely the same way. The difference is that back air is broken, and so it covers high and low, whereas forward tilt generally covers uh, low, mid, or high. So forward tilt is a more selective move in which you need to know which vertical length your opponent is going, while its trade-off is that it covers horizontal for free, as opposed to something like Palutena up smash, where as long as you know that they tried to move into you, the up smash was appropriate. So it does. And then if they jump, then back air has a back air on top of it on the hitbox for whatever god knows reasons. And so that's why I'm saying back air is broken is because that extra bit of disjoint get or that extra bit of hitbox size makes it so that you don't have to guess whether your opponent jumped or not. You just guessed whether or not they moved at you. Except because it's so low lag, which is really more of an ultimate thing. So because it's so low commitment, that back air is still fine on whiff. So you don't get punished for whiffing back air, but you also don't get punished if they block the back air. So as long as you aren't doing something that's loses to being spaced next to the opponent afterward, aka moving back and then pressing your button that's still safe. Like if you do short hop back air and then short hop forward, aka away from your opponent with another back air, then that second back air is probably not going to be spaced and you'll be in position to be punished. But that's where the forward tilt is for punishing people. So if you just mix up those two things, then the timing is going to be different. So they run up and they try and punish a short hop back air. Well, there's like 10 frames distant difference between the startup of a short hop back air and a forward tilt, which means that it is physically impossible to parry both. They can't jump over short hop back air. Like if they jump over short hop back air, they have to full hop, and you can just react to them having full hops, and you can just run under them and do whatever. And basically, you can dash shield under them, and if they touch your shield there, then you just short hop out, and then you time a retreating nair on their block, so that if they try to press two buttons on your block, that they got hit by the nair, and so but you basically use the nair as a safe pressure tool, and then you backdash after the nair. So it's kind of like how if I rob nair into your shield, you can't punish it directly. Like you do sometimes when I space it too close, but if I space it away, then I nair, and then you try and nair me, and I'll just short hop forward air you for it. Because I just see you whiffing an air out of shield at me. So what you're doing is you're not trying to hit their aerial directly, like if Yoshi nairs into you. If he tries to jab, so what you want to do is you want to jump out, and then if he tries to jab, then you hit him for jabbing, and then you just space out a back air if he shields. So he gets punished for trying to press two buttons on your block, and you don't care if he just gives you the space. And then what he's supposed to do to counter that is he basically lands in with an air, and then he short hop back airs or short hop forward airs to hit you jumping away from him. And then if you held shield, then you can just up smash on reaction to him doing that. So yeah, so I would have rather this been a short hop forward air, but this is a case of like your back air, or sorry, I said short hop forward air, I meant short hop back air. Back air would have caught him here for drifting in like this, and he would have had to air dodge onto the platform, in which case you could react to that by then spacing out a short hop back air over here so that he can't run over the platform. And then you would have to jump and then jump over here. And then you just short hop back air over here so that you're drifting over here. And then if he jumps in, then you get a third back air. And that's going to be safe. So then he has to pull back here, and then you get a fourth back air. And so he basically is going to have to punish your fifth back air in the sequence if you had started a back air here. And he would have been able to punish your fifth if he played the other four correctly. So what do you think the odds of four playing a situation perfectly 5 times in a row is? Not high. I agree. That's why I'm telling you, even if they are punishing it, keep doing it. Because if they are doing it, it is probably a fluke. I am telling you that the players in this region are not skilled enough to counter what you are doing. So, me being able to counter what you are doing is me specifically practicing to counter what you are doing while also being one of the best players in the region. Yeah, that was something I had to learn the hard way, and I was very angry and very bitter for a very long time that I was supposed to play the game wrong. Like, do you remember the conversation we had where Sean was asking why I don't do the full hop nairs that Gabriel was beating him with, and then I did them, and then I beat Sean? Yeah. So, I won't go into detail, but, there actually was a Rob player, one of the best Robs in the world, messaged me this morning, to say that they realize now that they were actually wrong about full hop nair the whole time, and that it's actually really bad, and they're just now realizing it. And that they had just gotten so used to bad players that they didn't realize that then they have to go over and play against top 10 players, and they're just gonna get opened up for it because it's bad. And it's just very bad on it's something you can punish on reaction, and they were apologizing for making fun of me for it. So, the point I'm getting at here is that something that I intellectually knew is bad and was upset about people doing because it's bad was something that I needed to start doing. And note that I didn't say shouldn't have, but chose to. I needed to start using it because if Sean is not good enough of a player to counter it, then I should be using it and abusing it against everyone it will work on. And then when I see, oh, this doesn't work, I say, all right, what is my follow up? Because I already know what the follow up is. So the counter is that people are supposed to just move and start walking around and shielding, which opens them up for things like dash grabs. So I'm supposed to just not full hop in the first place, but short hop and then space back, safer attacks like short hop and then drift back with forward air. And then because they are preparing to cover my full hop, they won't be in position, which still is not a great counter if someone has a fast enough reaction time to just roll back and just let me have neutral reset and then try and press me from there. Like that is a complicated counter to what I'm doing, which again, just like I'm telling you, it doesn't matter that there is a counter to what you're doing. It matters whether or not 4 can consistently implement that counter. And so just like if so Sean parried that same nair, and then I said, well, I'll just assume that he parries it from now on and I'll drift out of his range. And so then I would let him parry the nair. I would space out hard with a hard drift. And then he would try and dash grab me, and I had spaced outside of his dash grab. So he whiffs the dash grab in my face. And then I just grabbed him. So I basically full hop grabbed him. And then because he dashed into it too, he was closer to the corner and closer to the ledge. And so then I could just back throw him off stage. And so I full hopped to start a series of events that puts Sean off stage and lets me either edge guard or ledge trap him, depending on me reacting to where he's at. So the point I'm getting at though is that I shouldn't be able to do that situation in the first place. But if it works, then you should be doing it because you need to understand that essentially your decisions are like a meta deck. I believe you said you played Yu-Gi-Oh, is that correct? Okay. So do you remember how meta decks work? Like what the meta game is? Okay. So the metagame is essentially what people are using. It is not relevant to how good they are. But when people say a deck is good and professional card games, they say that a when they say good, what that means is that it is well positioned. And some top players will refer to it as that way. It is well positioned. It counters most of the metagame. So it doesn't matter if a deck has an unwinnable matchup against another deck, it might still be the best matchup for a tournament. Because if you do not run into the deck that hard counters it that it can never win against, then you are beating every deck. So, just on law of averages, having a 0 to 100 matchup prevents something from ever being truly the best unless there's just a lot of 50-50s. Just because that's going to ruin your average. But if that isn't coming into play, and I'm telling you, you're not running into other players who are going to be able to counter that, then your meta choices are still going to be strong. Like, the difference here is that when I tell you or part of the reason I was getting upset when we first started playing about the counter is because I knew other players who were worse than me can punish that counter. And so I get frustrated when I can't do things that other people can, even when I practice to do it. And I don't take it well as a rule of thumb because I'm not used to it as a person. So I'm used to seeing my practice immediately rewarded in anything that I do. So the uh, the counter, like Nyrok, obviously shit on you for going for counters, and so like that is a case of well, I now shit on you for using your counters just out of nowhere, even if nobody else did. But everyone else also shits on you for counters, like forwarded you earlier for the same counter. The difference is that with the short hop back airs and your forward tilts, I can fuck you up for it. Fort cannot fuck you up for it. I'm willing to bet that almost no one at that tournament is gonna fuck you up for it. Like the worst possible matchup for you there was probably Fusix, and I don't think Fusix would have fucked you up for it. I think what he would have done, just based on my recollection of him as a player, is he probably would have run into the corner and just held shield and let you do with whatever you were gonna do, and then he would try and put out an air to like cover you dashing back from the corner. So he would let you have the corner once you cornered yourself and then just rely on you jumping into something and then he would catch you here. He wouldn't try and beat you for the back airs and forward tilts. Actually, he probably would. He'd get blown up for it and then he would stop doing it. And then he would let you have the corner. He would wait for you to try and run out and he would just rely on you strangling yourself from feeling like, "Oh, I have to get out of here. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I'm gonna die if I stay here." And then you'll eventually run into a Sheik hitbox. So that's how I expect that would go. Incidentally, that is also why I told you I want you to practice fighting from the corner and just being here and being able to use your shield. So, have you ever watched MKLeo's Byleth? All right. Well, just something next time you watch his Byleth is something that he has that acts as basically the rock of his play. Is he has the ability to stand in a given place and not use movement and then be fine in that position. So he's basically comfortable to just stand in place and rely on being able to hold shield and reactively parry something that the opponent is doing to basically not necessarily punish what they're doing, but to wait until that gives him an opportunity to either hit them or to just straight up jump over something that they're doing or to get a roll because he rolls a lot as Byleth. It's something that he didn't do a whole lot as Joker because he had better dash, like a low dash specifically. And most of Leo's characters have something in common, which is that their backdash is very low. Like Lucina, uh, yeah, that's another example. And all these characters duck really low when they dash. And that's really good because it means that they can dash under full hop aerials, which are a meta choice. Allow him to reposition under common neutral options. And so you'll note that when he plays against uh, Spargo, one of the reasons that he made, or one of the things that I think led to him making the choice that he made, is that he realized he wasn't going to be able to just run the center anymore. Because people have uh, the higher level players outside of like the top 5, top 10 are starting to understand that full hopping is not good. And so they are starting to use short hop approaches and then space them out accordingly. And unfortunately, that means that you can't run the center all the way across the stage. And for perspective, I was analyzing a VOD last night that involved MVD as character, ran from the corner from where you're at across PS2 all the way and just ran to center stage and pulled a grenade while he was being ledge trapped because the person's ledge trapping was so open. And he got away with it because people just tend to full hop like that. And I want you to understand that this wasn't a top level match. Like MVD was playing against the best representative or the best user of the character that he was playing against. And MVD is obviously the best snake in North America. So you have two of the top representatives of their given character, and their level of play is still low enough that one of the players can run across the stage to center stage from the ledge and get away with it. He was not hit, he was not pressured. Like the other person genuinely just did not believe that he had the audacity for such a thing. So, my point being that if you are mechanically loose enough and you are relying on people feeling pressured, then you'll find that, oh, hey, that actually didn't exist in the first place. And so Leo will stand up from the ledge, and if he manages to get up, he will just straight up. Usually, you'll see that Leo will hold his shield until it breaks. And then generally, what you'll find is that when your shield gets lower, people will position themselves. They'll give a tell on what they're about to do. Because generally, they're going to think, oh, his shield is low. He has to do something. I'm going to do this. And so they'll formalize their thoughts, and you can actually see their character adjusting to prepare for whatever they're going to do. Because usually they'll let him sit in shield for a bit, and then they're going to prepare to do something. And generally, he's just going to roll through whatever button they press. And then after he rolls in, he's going to react to what they did. Was it punishable? Probably not. And so there, after he the forward air, and he doesn't care if the forward air hits or not. He's not putting it out there to hit. He's putting it out there to prevent them from attacking him while he jumps back to center. And so he will basically, like here, where do you see the mouse? Okay, so he'll be here. Yoshi will jump in for a short hop forward air. He'll roll in here, and then he'll either dash back here while turning a forward tilt in this direction, or he'll just short hop nair and then nair in place to make it look like he's going to attack them, and then he'll drift back here. And he doesn't do this every single time. It's just because he always mixes up what he does. Like, he doesn't repeat himself. Leo. Leo. So Leo doesn't repeat himself, but this is a commonality in the things he'll do. So he'll find different ways to do this. But what the common thread is that he values being over here more than he values hitting the opponent. And if he hits the opponent, if he grabs them, it's almost always so that he can put them off stage, and then he doesn't usually, or usually what he'll do is he'll walk over here, and then he'll react to them overextending and hit them. And if they don't overextend, he'll just stand there. Or he'll use empty movement to prepare them for something he's not going to do. Usually what he likes to do is he'll move like he's going to do something, and then he'll do the opposite. Like he'll start jumping up over here, and he'll like empty short hop twice, and then he'll move back here and wait to see if they ledge roll. And if they don't ledge roll, then he'll space out an aerial while moving back here. But he makes sure that he stays outside of their roll length. So here, you can just keep forward tilting, and if you see Yoshi jump, you wait for him to jump at you, and then when he jumps at you, you just roll in here, and then you short hop back air while retreating it. Yeah. It's gonna take a lot of practice because it's just very different, and you're gonna have to feel it. But basically, you need to understand that basically you are going to absolutely shit on their life the moment they get that roll, because you need to understand how it feels to have someone cornered and then have them corner you for it. So it doesn't feel like a win for you. So you don't get that dopamine burst when you get it. But once you start to do this, I want you to look out for it when you play against other people, and you're gonna see them just get blown up for it, and you're gonna realize, "Oh, hey, I basically just took their stock by getting this roll." And so, like, this forward tilt was good, and this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, by the way. So if you had gone for the same down smash, you probably would have gotten hit for it because you would have thrusted your arm forward and you would have hit it. So here, you get a forward smash instead. Now, granted, it was probably worth you charging a down smash there instead, but it looks like he's familiar enough with Sephiroth that he wouldn't have gotten hit. So here, so here you could have actually run up here and up tilted the second egg, or forward tilted that. Had you walked up instead of running up, so there's this. So just walk up. So you are walking, you walk up here, and then you just upward angle forward tilt to hit it like a baseball bat. And if you what that would have done is Yoshi wouldn't have been able to come up right behind the egg. He would have had to drift back. And then you just react to what Yoshi does. If Yoshi air dodges like this, you would have been able to grab him. So the sequence worked out better for you because you got the stock. But what I'm telling you to do, to walk up behind it and just forward tilt the egg, and then react to what Yoshi did, it means that you're going to cover everything on reaction, which means that you'll cover it 100% of the time. So if Four had just nared in place and fast fallen so that he could shield that dash attack, then that actually would have started a combo for him. So here, this actually wasn't a great choice on your part because Yoshi could have full hop down aired. Excuse me. Yoshi could have full hop down aired and started up a combo here. Yeah, so yes, I was waiting. If I had to guess, I'd say it was an air, but who knows? So if I had to guess, yeah. Just knowing what I know about you, I'm assuming you tried to drop through and nair him, and you see him jump after. So he was expecting you to jump. So again, if you had back aired or up aired here instead of nairing, he would have moved over here. It would have whiffed either way. Actually, the back air would have hit him if he didn't leave the platform. But let's say he had up aired, and then after you hit the up air, don't try to hit him for it. You immediately. So something that is in your mindset that you should probably work on getting out of your mindset is that hitting someone at low percent means it's time to combo. If you did not specifically grab them, if you hit them, then that means that you should space out a retreating aerial in case they try and attack you on hit. Because that is increasingly meta as you go up, as someone will get hit, and generally it's negative. So they have frame advantage when you hit them. It's kind of like you know how your jabs work when I'll like down tilt you and you'll start mashing jab. Yeah, it's that principle. It's you have to realize that it's not actually your turn, and you punish them for pressing a button. So something I've started doing, and this blows you up for it, is I'll down tilt you and then I'll immediately start a nair, and I'll pull back the nair. But if you press the button or jab or you try to short hop nair yourself, then guess what? You get caught by. Uh, well, the first nair. Basically, it down tilts you, and if you press the button, then and I nared, then I'm gonna counter hit your button. So basically, I'm setting myself to whiff punish any buttons you press after I touched you. So, like here, if you'd landed with a back air or up air, and then you short hopped back toward the right with another back air, and he presses a button at you, then he's gonna get hit by the second back air. And if he doesn't, then oh well, you whiffed a back air and you lost a little bit of stage. But he's gonna have to fight you to take back that stage. And instead, so by this cross up here, because you tried to attack him with this nair. So so here You could have short hop backyard here, short hop backyard here, short hop backyard here, short hop backyard here, and to corner yourself. So you had 4 back airs. So or you can get one nair, and you can even short hop back air here and retreat it without going off stage. So you exchanged 4 back airs for this nair because you're trying to attack him. And for the record, this is why I'm blowing you up increasingly is because I ever since I changed my playstyle to focus on valuing stage control, will regularly be at a point where just sometimes you'll just attack at me and then you'll just corner yourself. And then I just hit you with a forward air that isn't even safe on hit, and then I'll just walk back and put out a forward tilt to keep you from drifting into me. And so you either have to drift out here and corner yourself or ledge trap yourself, or you get hit, and then the same thing happens anyways. And so there, from here, I'll just jump up here full hop forward air to cover you from preemptively double jumping to center. Because I don't care if you grab the ledge or not, and I don't care if you go here. I just don't want you coming over here and getting your stage control back, because that's a huge bitch and to have to fight through. And so I'll just wait. So you'll go for the snare. I hit you for it. You take like 10, 12 damage. Whoop de doo. But now I don't have to fight through 4 fucking back airs to get my ledge trap. And so I don't even have to fight your ledge your 4 tilts and your back airs in the first place because I just wait for you to hang yourself. And so I'll just turtle and use a lot of shield. And then if you start trying to play dash grab, well, I can react to that. I can react to that. You usually don't see me turtling until I have access to something like gyro, where I can just see you start a dash and I can just throw the gyro at you. And from that point, if you didn't aerial, then gyro shuts down everything else. And if you did aerial, then I can just hold my shield. So it's 50-50, where I either take a sour forward air or I get a gyro to dash grab the forward air combo myself, which is significantly better for me. And then because I'm valuing stage control, that forward air usually costs you everything. And usually when I do it, I am doing it from the corner. And if I'm not from the corner, usually what you'll see me doing is I'll use my safe lame stuff. Like I'll put up lasers, I'll jump out, I'll space out nairs, and just hope you get hit by something. And if you don't, I don't care. I'm just avoiding getting hit. So I'll just use my stage control as a resource to make everything I do safe. And then sometimes you will just try and attack me and you'll do a bad attack like this. And then I get to play for that resource some more. And you don't get to do the same thing. So usually when you part of the reason why you get better is when you get one wing is you stop being aggressive so much. So your mentality tends to shift and you tend to value keeping your one wing and staying alive more than hitting me. But if you did that with regular Sephiroth in the first place, then you're more likely to get one wing to begin with, since you are more likely to not die at 50. Wait, what? So I'm a little confused as to what kind of example you're looking for. So play your game plan and stop trying to cover people retreating. So this Nair here that you put out, does cover things that your normal game plane doesn't. So here, if he had stayed on the platform, or if he had landed and then rolled over here, then you are now in position to grab that roll. You're now in position to cover this platform. So you cover over here, so all the space is space you wouldn't have covered if you had just put out an aerial over here to cover all this. But you're doing it the trade-off of putting yourself over here, which is great if he's here, but he's not here, he's here, which means you just went from having all this stage control to having all this stage control. And one of these is significantly longer than the other, basically. It's not a matter of just taking a risk when you don't need to. It's specifically you value you value this much stage more than you value all this over here, and you're supposed to value all this over here more than this little bit here. So you aren't focusing on the stage at all. You're focusing on Yoshi. You're spacing relative to Yoshi. You're making sure you cross up Yoshi. You're not spacing yourself in the stage. But Sephiroth's relationship with the stage is more important than Sephiroth's relationship with Yoshi. So here, this forward tilt, you could have taken this forward tilt either way, based on the Nair. Granted, if you had put out a short hop retreating back air over here, he could not have forward tilted you. But here, yeah, so this is fine. Like that air dodge wasn't great, but it set you up here so that you can jump over and you can jump onto this platform and take center. So I want to see you. Oh, so not hitting him actually was better than hitting him here because he is forced to go over here into the corner or off stage. So it looks like that, but look at this. So here, so this is where you made the decision to nair because you have to remember there's a lag time between human reactions plus the input delay. So you decided to put the nair while he was over here. So you probably thought you were timing it to get this nair, but you fast fell in place. You didn't fall over here and drift past him, which is why it didn't. So stop focusing on damage. Again, it's this is because or the source of this mistake is you thinking I'm going to hit Yoshi. That is a trap. You are thinking, or let me phrase, the correct way to think about it in this case is I'm going to take advantage of this whiff down air to make sure that I have the stage. So you basically hit him with 5 Fox lasers here. But the trade-off is that those 5 Fox lasers cornered you. So you got away because of the fair. So here after the nair, what I wanted you to do is to just run the center. Just haul ass over to center and put out a retreating forward tilt or a short hop back air to keep him from following you to center. And then you don't care if it hits or not. It's not about hitting. So position matters, percent does not matter. I want you to write down that mantra. Position matters, not percent. So, yeah, that's the core underlying feature. behind all of your decisions that I disagree with here is just those concepts are swapped in your mind. So, 1 second. Okay. So, here. So you do get this narrative forwarder, and that's not bad. I would like to reiterate this is not bad. You're getting a combo follow up. It is something you practice, and I'm happy you're getting it. What is bad is the opportunity cost of it. Be- yeah, because the 21% is worth so much less than just being like if you had put out a back air here and it caught him, then you are like a Falco laser away from having the same damage. But the difference is that Yoshi's on the ledge and you get to ledge trap him versus Yoshi has center stage. Because Yoshi can drop through here and put out a nair, and if you don't specifically retreat back here toward the ledge with a forward tilt, then you're not going to be able to out disjoint it. Like if he drops through with a forwarder. So here you have to, yeah. So this forward tilt was fine. You wanted to step to the left for it because here you're swinging to hit this Yoshi, but this Yoshi here, the diagonal Yoshi, is right in your face and would have just traded with Nair on that forward tilt, and you don't like that trade. So here, that's fine. This is good. So after that back air, I wanted to see you drift back here to the platform for the same reason we talked about before. But here, as soon as I see you land for this back air, I want to see you short hop, or yeah, to just short hop up air to put out the up air to cover this space and force Yoshi to double jump. Okay, that's good. Alright, so see how this kinda resets but puts him closer to you? So now I wanna see you start an initial dash here or walk over here. So basically you want to drop through and avoid his drop through back air. So you wanna walk out of that range and put out an aerial, like a back air or another up air that prevents him from being able to just walk over here. So you wanna cover this, and you wanna also move out of the way of this before you do it. So if you just turn around and up tilt, it'll cover this and this, so that's acceptable. But then if he just walks off the platform, then he can still whiff punish you. So basically, if you move over here and then short hop back here, then you can cover both. So, yeah, so that was good. So this was good. If it had been a back air, then you would have hit him. But the movement is correct. So your repositioning is correct. The button choice was incorrect. So here, and the reason the button choice was incorrect doubles down. So obviously you didn't hit him, which sucks. But the second reason is if he had shielded that, it would have pushed him over here, right? So now you can't just walk back and forward tilt, you have to dash back forward tilt. So this is fine. So here, because he's so close, you wanted to short hop back air back if you were going to do this. The main reason being if he had just short hop forwarded here, you would have traded. So here, so this up air to back air is fine. So notice where you hit him with the back air. That was with him fading away. So look at Yoshi's DI on the up air. So you don't want to hit him for this. So don't get me wrong that I'm not gonna say, oh no, you shouldn't have hit him with a back air. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm saying that this is the kind of thing that you're losing out on when you play the way I want you to be playing. So if he drifts back here, I don't want you hitting. I wanted you to drift forward with that back air to hit him if he drifted in. So because he DI'd out, he's gonna be DIing out toward here, which means that you're covering all this space by back airing further to the right. Does that make sense? So I'm telling you, these situations are gonna be worse for you as a trade-off for you playing. So I'm not telling you to do something that's strictly better. You are going to lose out on some things, but I'm saying that this is one of those things you're gonna be losing out on. But this is a hit you got because of the mindset that you have. That is to hit Yoshi. So you got this combo because of it. So it's a mixed bag. So here, short hop up air. So the problem with this is he could have just fallen down here in your face and hit you. Yeah. And then you can't move. So you can't even move up to follow his drift here. And that's actually, for the record, you know those previous up airs? So look at how he reacts to up tilt. See how he drifts out? So he was afraid of up air. Yeah, he's just said, you know what, fuck it. This whole area is off limits. And so you see him corner himself in from neutral. You open yourself up center, but he cornered himself because he just said, you know what? All this space is covered. I can't have it. That's fine. Whatever. You want to have the full stage? Fuck it. You got it. I'm gonna have this corner though. And so this was a good choice on his part. But he is overly respecting your up air because you drop. So your game plan was working. So the up airs were working, the drift back aerials were working, and then what do? You forward tilt without moving. So here, so he's clearly moving at you, and you decided. So you're forward tilting him here. So you're still pulling back from up tilt, and then you start forward tilting him here. So you're hitting this Yoshi. So you're not hitting this Yoshi. You're not hitting this Yoshi. You're not hitting this Yoshi. Well, you are, but you're hitting these Yoshis and this Yoshi and this Yoshi because you didn't move back because you weren't trying to hit this Yoshi. So I'm telling you to hit this Yoshi. You still would have cleared him because he was moving so fast, and he would have been able to short hop forward air you if you didn't dash back again. And that's exactly what he tried to cover here. So here, he expected you to dash back and forward tilt. Obviously, he would not have been in position. So if you had been over here when you forward tilted, and he went for this down air, then and you had dashed back again for another forward tilt, you would be over here and you would just hit him for this down air. Yeah. No, it makes sense. Uh, I'm just telling you this is basically what you wanted to be doing. So this is you retreating back here with forward tilts and back airs is how you're leveraging those back airs, or how you're leveraging that stage control into a win. So yeah, this back air is good, obviously. So do another one. Yeah, let's go. All right, so this is good. He's not punishing it. So see how he's just kind of following you and hoping you corner yourself? So you do it again. No. I think that was supposed to be you forward tilting and you got a grab. So if this had been a forward tilt, this would have been good. So if you had forward tilted, he would have tried to spot dodge it here, and then you see him shielding after. So and then from here, you're now in the corner. So he correctly walked you up. He made the correct decision 3 times in a row. And then look at where he's at. All right, so now this is the corner position. Oh no. So now he has to do all that shit all over again. So you just turn around and you do out. So he cornered you to get this down air. And so now you just turn around and put out a short hop back air to keep him from double jumping back into you. So you just walk here and then time it so that right as his down air ends, you put out a back air. And the reason you're timing it is because there are two general things he's going to do. He's either going to up B or he's going to double jump. If he up Bs, then if you time it so that you start a short hop back air right when his down air is finishing, then by the time that up B egg comes out, your back air is going to be there to eat it. And then you can just react to whatever happens. If he double jumps right into it, then he gets caught by the back air. So it's forcing him to grab the ledge. And now, granted, you're not back airing over here, you're back airing here. So what he's supposed to do is just double jump here and just chill here and react and see what you're doing and hope that you don't hit him. Yeah. See that egg? So if he had held further back before he tossed it, this egg would have come out, but the back air would have hit you. The back air would have eaten it. So yeah. So just don't dash. Just turn around and short hop back air while drifting over here. You don't have to dash back air. So this forward tilt was fine. I want to reiterate this is good. This is you following the plan. This is what it looks like when you follow the plan. Is he just made 3 correct plays and 1 wrong play, and look at where he's positioned now. You got a ledge trap position without touching Yoshi because you played your game plan correctly, and he hung himself on his own mistake, despite playing 75% of that correctly. This is what 75% correct looks like. It's you getting ledge trapped at 71%. So I see this, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is he not doing this constantly? This is broken as shit. Was there any opportunity for Yoshi to hit you up to this point? Well, there was the down air, but he had his shot. He missed his shot. But everything leading up to there was no way for him to hit you. He could not have hit you. He had to not interact and walk you into a position where you run out of ways to cheat. Keep cheating. Don't stop. No, it was just so cheap. Like, he can hit himself, so he can lose, but you can't. And so he just went for tie, 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 and then he went for a swing that missed, and now he's in a super bad position. And so now, the moment he grabs this ledge here, now you put out a short hop back air to cover the ledge jump up here. So assume he ledge jumps and put the back air up here. And then if he gets up, put out another short hop back air here, and then retreat it this time. Again, you're putting out, so the first back air is going to hit here to cover the ledge jump. The second back air needs to hit over here. So now you don't care about hitting him anymore. So you just get one free swing to hit him for pressing a bad ledge option. If he doesn't press the bad ledge option, then he gets away with everything. And that's fine, because now you are going to watch him have to walk you across the stage. Not once, not twice, not three times, because this is was your theoretical. Yeah, so if you go up here and retreat, so you've already had one free swing at him. So then you get a second free swing. Then you get a third free swing that's going to retreat and put you back here. Then you get a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, and then on your eighth fucking free swing, he's going to have you cornered again to get another try to hit you. And so at that point, he will have had 2 opportunities out of 12 interactions. And of those 12 interactions, it was not possible for him to touch you for 10 of those 12. That means that 85% of all the gameplay for him walking you across the stage 2 different times, 85% of that was only possible for him to lose. Also, if at any point he makes the mistake, as you see here, guess what starts all the way back over again? Because at any point you back air him, he's going back off stage, and you get to start back over at the start, and he has to walk you all the way across the stage. It's like the hardest boss fight of all time. Yeah, no, you're supposed to do this and just let him, like, if he doesn't walk you out, then he times you out, and that's what he's supposed to do. Like, let him time you out. And if he doesn't, then he has to walk you off and just play absolutely perfect for more than 85% of the time. Like, this is just so unfair. It's fantastic, and this is what I want you to be doing. So, you see how broken this is, right? Yeah, so yeah, no, this is why I was telling you against Sean, like, just keep forward tilting, because he's like, Sean did not wanna play all this shit, so he just gets impatient, and he has to be super patient against Sephiroth, like everybody does, pretty much. So they have to just get super patient and just go, so they'll try and force the issue. And, like, I'm no different, sometimes I get impatient, and knowing all this, I'll still go for it. And I wanna be clear on that's being that effective, that even when people know the counters, they're still going to choose the incorrect situation because they just don't want to. It's boring. Like, that's a good thing for you. Like, it's supposed to be boring, and then if you so the only way this doesn't work is if you are not executing it. And that means that when you are executing this, this means this is you playing well. What we are watching is you playing well. So I want to be clear, even though you have not added a percent, the point from where you got that up air to back air string, everything since that has been you playing well. So yeah, so from the 35 mark, or sorry, the 34 mark up until the rest of that point, you played the game very well. I'm very happy about it. So 34 to 28. So 6 seconds of good gameplay. All right, this is fine too. So now after this forward tilt, just turn around and short hop back air here and then drift over here. Okay, so this isn't bad, but it's not what I want to see. And I already told you why this is what I wanted to see. So you could have put out another back air. It's going to whiff here. He's still here. And he just now has to walk you all the way across the goddamn stage. And because you short hop back air and then drift over here, you would have been here. So basically, you get 2 dashbacks or you get 3 short hop back airs. So, again, this is fine. You are using your movement, you have committed to nothing. You can just forward tilt on reaction and doing anything. No. Yeah, yeah, so the you said, "Oh, no, I wanna hit it." So this dash is fine. This is still fine because and this is why. So I wanted to see you not dash up, but walk up and then dash back. And the reason for this is you are feinting. You are saying, I'm going to walk up and hit you. And then you're using your empty movement that doesn't commit and dashing back. So then you bait him out. So this was still good. I want to be clear on that. This was still good. This was you using your movement. This is what ultimately the next evolution of your game plan is going to be, anyways, which is why I'm not going to say bad. This was good. So you used your movement. Now, granted, again, want to see you walking toward, dashing away. Yeah. So you or should get this forward tilt. Yes, and you do. And guess what? He's all the way fucking over here. Guess what you get to go do? So you're yes, but specifically, you want to cover him recovering high here. So you want to go up high with a back air and then drop low with a back air to cut. So first you want to come up here with like maybe a full hop double jump up air to land onto the platform. Will that still auto cancel onto the platform? All right. Put that on the things to experiment. It's small battlefield, full hop double jump up air onto the platform. Auto cancel. Hmm. All right. So yeah, here you don't want to throw this flare. You want it to go up here to swing out to prevent him from double jumping up here because this is what a better Yoshi would do. By the way, is just double jump up here and then just drift and try and wait for you to swing and try and just air dodge through your swing and just fight you for a single interaction that puts him onto center stage. Like this is what a top Yoshi would do. So here, all right. So he dips low and then he goes high. So if you had preemptively put out like an up air or a back air here, it would catch him. So if you can't get full hop double jump up air to auto cancel, then just go for a reverse full hop back air up here. And I want to be clear, you're doing this early. So you're going up here and doing it now. So putting out a full hop back air here. And then he's not going to drift into it because he's going to be afraid of it. And then as soon as you land with that platform, you go for a drop through back air. And this is something you're going to practice that I want you to practice because I never see you do this. Actually, I shouldn't say I never see you do it. I very rarely see you do it. Is back air onto the plat and then drop through, get an immediate back air. So you get back air, drop through back air. And it's just going to come out as like a second apart, but it's going to cover so much space and it's going to be two back airs. So it's just going to be super intimidating, and people aren't going to try and move into it. And even if they do, it's probably going to hit them anyways. So, you see him trying to bait out the up tilt here, and then moving back. And so here, this should be a back air. That's good. And then guess what you get to do on reaction? You can dash grab him here, or you can just take one step here so that he can't cross you up with air dodge and forward tilt, which is probably the correct solution because that covers everything. So this was fine. Now this still worked, but if he had hard committed to his air dodge and drifted past you, you wouldn't have been able to react to the difference. Like it's not realistic for you to react to that. And then he you would have whiffed a dash grab here, and then he can set up a short hop forward air, and it's not going to hit you guaranteed, but it means that he's going to pressure your block with a short hop forward air, and then he can do a rising nair after it and drift back with that. So he basically gets two, or he gets a free swing, and then he gets a safe startup on the next button he presses. So this is fine. So here you want to put out an immediate RAR back air. And again, you're preemptively covering this egg. So you're going to see him hit this. Yeah. So if you had done an immediate back air, so as soon as you put out the forward throw, immediate RAR back air, it would have eaten this egg and hit him. So this is why he wants the egg, because it puts you out of position. Like, he doesn't get to hit you for it. So you actually could have, so on reaction to him whiffing this grab, what you should have done was fast fall over here and space out a forward air right here on the edge of his shield, because he's going to shield it. So this forward air was still fine because it wasn't committal, but you wanted to forward air earlier and swing out here to cover him so that he's not comfortable pressing buttons. And you see him cover his whiff grab with a down tilt. So the down tilt actually would have gotten hit. Yeah, so here. Let me short hop back air back. Yeah, so this is fine. Do it again. So short hop back air and drift to the right. So you drifted left, which is why the forward air hits. So focus on where Sephiroth is moving. So you moved in. So you're supposed to be moving away. So you're basically slowly like walking away, and you're walking yourself away by using short hops, and then you moving at walk speed away. So you're basically just slowly walking across the stage, and then your opponent is just walking into your hit range at some point. That's all that's all this game is supposed to look like, is this matchup, is you just slowly walking each other, or him slowly walking you into the corner, and then you get a dynamic gameplay once you're in the corner, because now the question is, well, Sephiroth wants to roll into center. I don't want Sephiroth to roll into center, but I also really have worked a long time to get this goddamn hit, and I don't feel like waiting anymore. So, and that's exactly what happened with his down air. Is he's like, fuck it, now's the time. Get hit, get hit. I like, he used down air not just because it's a solid combo starter, but because it's his most active series of hitboxes. So he didn't care. He just wanted to fucking hit you with something, because Jesus Christ, I've just watched him for so long, and oh my god, I just want to make sure I hit him. So, here, I want to see you dash in a run and short hop back air to cover this. So you're covering here, or alternatively, you can put out an up air also to cover here. So don't let him up B onto the platform. So yeah, dash and then RAR up air so that you're covering this space. And then if he goes in the corner, fine, fuck it, he gets it. So this works. So the reason this works is because you did this on reaction to him positioning here. And look at where it puts you, right here. So you are outside of fair range there. Yeah, so don't preemptive egg. So if he's not rising with the egg, so if he is above the counter when he tosses the egg, don't counter. If he's below the counter when he tosses the egg, counter. Does that make sense? Yeah, so here, you took too long. It's too late. So here, you shield the egg and then run up behind it. And because it delayed you, you want to dash back here with a forward tilt. That's good. Nice. You played this very well. Good job. So there's nothing he can do to stop this from coming out. Yeah, you played that all correctly. He had the air dodge there right into this, and you just drop shield and forward tilt. Now, granted, I'm sure you were going to shield grab it, but you should have dropped shield and you should have basically assume he's going to nair there. Actually, yeah, no, he has to air dodge because of the Giga Flare. So, yeah, you just drop shield and forward tilt. And the reason is it covers all air dodges. So his max air dodge is right here. So he still gets hit. And then so you just walk, like take one step to the right and then forward tilt the whole stage. And if he grabs the ledge, then fuck it, whatever. You don't care about hitting him so much as you care about guaranteeing that he doesn't get off here. And then if he grabs the ledge, then you immediately short hop back air because you're not going to have time to get your free swing. So you just put out a short hop back air to guarantee that you keep him from dropping down and trying to forward air you. So you get this. So you're standing here, you put down the controller you gave up. Why are you not charging Giga Flare? Dear God. So here you decided to edge guard and go out. You don't have to go out. So here you should do down angled forward tilt. That's fine. Immediately dash back and forward tilt again. Okay. So here, yeah. So here, just short hop here and back air while drifting away to cover the preemptive ledge jump. And then after you do that, guess who's going to roll right here? And you just turn around and grab him on reaction. Yeah. Yeah. So you short hop on reaction. As soon as this forward tilt finishes, immediately short hop back air and drift back here. So yeah, so that you're in position to grab the roll. So here you are actually not far enough away to forward tilt. So there's two places you can be. So on this is easiest to see on the PS2 platform, but there are three dots here. Actually, it's still here on the BF platform. You see this arch? So this is right where the PS2 dot is, and I'm pretty sure this is an intentional choice on the game dev team because they want to physically indicate where you're supposed to be. So, so this dot, and this dot are on the same place as the PS2 dots on the platform, on the lights on the side of the platform. So if you're standing on this dot, you have your back facing the ledge and face here, you standing grab. If you're facing this dot, then it puts you so that if you're facing the left, you grab ledge rolls. It's also worth it's also worth noting that if your back is to this dot here, this blue here, then it also will position you so that you can shield grab this. And then this swirl here, if you are facing it from the edge of this swirl with your back to the swirl, then you're in position. It's also worth noting that this dot is going to put you exactly outside of get up attack range. So those are how you're generally going to be spacing. So you want to put out a back air here to cover the ledge roll and then drift back to this dot and then be ready to shield, or you short hop back air starting from here to cover this and then drift back to this dot and then you can forward tilt. And then that should cover ledge roll plus this. Yeah, but if you this is mainly gonna come up if you are doing, like, a ledge drop. If you are doing let's say a one wing and you ledge drop, jump, jump, back air, then you're gonna drift back here and you're gonna land right here. So, alternatively, if you do a regular ledge drop, double jump, Sephiroth and back air, then you're gonna end up right here, and if you roll, it should put you right here. Yeah, and it means that if you do a ledge drop back air onto the ledge and roll, you're going to want to buffer a turnaround before you shield. And the reason for that is so that you are facing your shield to shield grab this. And that way, if you see them get up on reaction to them getting up, if you see their shield, you immediately short hop back air and then you drift back here. And the purpose for that is you're going to realize, well, they're not in range to threaten me because I see their shield. So I'm just going to put out a back air, and you're going to drift the back air so that it doesn't hit their shield. And so that if they do try and press a button or they drop shield and try and dash, that they get hit. Yes, it is. Well, this is so I do this same shit to you, which is why my ledge traps come across as broken. Rob gets this shit too. So for Rob, if I'm standing here on this blue, this will put a gyro here, and you won't be able to use get up without getting hit. And if you do a short hop forward air to hit it, then I'm going to be able to dash shield up here because of the added hit lag that you have from hitting the gyro. I will have enough time to dash shield to this point. And I'm going to dash shield to this point because if you if you double jump after you forward air it, it should put you right here. And you're going to basically jump into me. And if you pressed any buttons, I will be able to shield grab it unless you did it the latest possible button. But if you do it the latest possible button, then I have the trade-off where I can just run up here all the way up. And so you're going to see me shoot a gyro and then just run up here and rotor arm. And it's going to look like I'm doing it raw, but I'm doing it as a mix-up to specifically prevent you from being able to press anything that doesn't get shield grabbed here. So I will only do it once because I actually only care about the shield grab. The rotor arm is not something I want because I cannot pick it without a risk. I have to guess. And so by just forcing you to do something that I can react to for the rest of the set means that I will never have to question my own game plan and I can react. And then if I can react, then that means that I can beat you 100% of the time. So, like from here, you like to space like right here so that you can forward tilt down and hit the ledge. You do that to hit their ledge grab, but then as soon as you do that, I want you to walk back here, like right here, and then forward tilt to catch. So be around the dot. So let's look at where you were standing for this forward tilt. So here you were just to the left of the dot. I want you to be standing just to the right of the dot when you forward tilt. And you'll see the forward tilt still, hold on. See if I can get a shot for it. This still covers ledge get up very comfortably. So you're hitting here. You can hit over here and it's going to hit every single ledge get up. But because you're taking this tip distance and adding it here, that means the forward tilt is over here too. And it's going to hit Yoshi's fat fucking nose. So, yeah, so if you're standing just to the right of the dot, you can still hit get up and hit ledge roll too. And that's what I would like to see from you. So, basically, you put out a short hop back air here, and then you drift over from the short hop back air to here, and then you forward tilt at their ledge get up / ledge roll on reaction to them doing it. So you can't react to preemptive ledge jump. That's why you jump for the forward airs to hit me when I ledge jump. And that's why I told you I have basically a 50-50 where I'll just get up. And if you're up here already, then you're not in position to hit me for getting up. So, a common misunderstanding that I think you're suffering from here is that there is a ledge jump. There is not a ledge jump. There are two ledge jumps. There is buffered ledge jump, and then there is reactionary ledge jump or choice ledge jump. So, reactionary ledge jump is where either I am seeing you press something and I'm ledge jumping, or you are seeing me ledge jump and pressing something. So, preemptive ledge jump or buffered ledge jump is where somebody grabs the ledge and they're holding the button and they're going to get the earliest possible ledge jump. That is always going to be a hurt box you're covering here and you're timing it. Now, ledge jump is so much faster than every other ledge option that it is a separate covering time, which means you have time to put out a landing back air to hit this and still punish every other ledge option. Does that make sense? So, you cannot react to me ledge jumping. So what you do is if you react to me ledge jumping, assume that I'm going to be somewhere. So I'm either going to be over here, I'm going to be over here, or I'm going to be way up here because I have to double jump after. Or I press a button. So either I'm going to be hitting here. So like in Yoshi's case, if they do a ledge jump and they do a short hop forward air, that's going to be like 40, 50 fucking frames, but they're going to be able to reach you over here. Except that means that on reaction, because of the startup of ledge jump plus their slow aerial, because if they don't pick a slow aerial, then they can't reach you. And that means on reaction to you ledge jumping, you can short hop back air here, and it'll stop them from attacking. But then if they do a ledge jump and then a double jump, then they're going to be way high up. But they're so high up that you can then whiff that back air and then pick something that counters what they're doing. So essentially, the second ledge jump, you can't punish directly, but you have to read what they do after. But because of the position it puts them up, because they're so high, or rather so low, they're like here. So it forces them to double jump, or they have to do something immediately in the space. So since the space is something you already want to cover, every other thing you're doing, guess what gets automatically covered by just putting a hitbox here? Yeah, so basically you have to puffer. You have to punish the buffered ledge jump for free. So you need a low landing lag attack that punishes that. And then after you cover that, then you react to whatever they do. And you react to ledge jump as being over here. So basically, on reaction to ledge jump, you don't hit them. You swing it where you think they want to go. So like here, let's say you put out a short hop back air, they ledge jumped right after your back air. You immediately short hop double jump up air onto this platform, or full hop double jump up air onto the platform to prevent them from double jumping to center. And if they pressed a button here, then they basically ledge jumps, drifted away from the back air if they didn't get hit, and then they're drifting in behind you. So you land up here with an auto cancel up air, except then you immediately run off the platform with a back air. So them playing the situation correctly means that you get a free swing up here, or a free swing down here, free swing up here, and they use the time during this whiff to move over here, and then you move over here and just walk off the platform with the back air, and you're still covering this space. And at that point, you have reset to neutral, and it's time to just start walking yourself back to the right corner now. Exactly. So sorry, this is all execution. It's just a matter of can you continue pressing your buttons correctly? And so you don't have to think about it because you are a skilled enough player that you can just choose to not fuck up. Oh, like Lade cannot do this. If I told Lade to do this, he would first tell me I'm an idiot and that the game's not that simple and there's all this complex shit going into it and that I just don't understand. And then he would tell me that his Galaxian brain intellect is going to play it correctly, and then he's going to take risks and fight. But if he did want to implement this, he could not because he is not capable of putting out back airs consistently. Like I watched him play against Sean, and I would like to reiterate that Sean is actually the person who brought this up. That he thought he knew the Sephiroth matchup because he beat Lade, and found that to not be especially challenging. And then he came here and he was playing against you, and he had no idea what to do when you just started using your technical play because Lade couldn't physically do the things that you were doing. So your decision making is not good, but that's okay because you are literally in contact with one of the best decision makers in the world. So like I can that's fine. This is perfect. So I can't play the game for you. I can't put out the back airs for you. What I can do is I can tell you this is how the flowchart's supposed to work. And you're a smart man, so you can understand this just fine. So the parts that I can help you cover are the parts that you need help covering. So this is great. I'm very happy about this. Uh, like you, every single time that you've gotten fucked up for something in this set so far. It has not been because you failed. It has been because you decided to fail. So, yeah. So, yeah, like this forward tilt. Actually, I take that back. This forward tilt is a technical failure because you expected this to hit. So, just being over here, that small nuance. And for the record, this is that shit I get tight about when I'm playing Rob and I'm playing against you and I'm playing super clean, and then I get hit for shit like this because I'm just pixels off. I hope not. So yeah, he nares you here. To be fair, you don't die from the nair, you die from the forward air. So when you are in the corner, when you are on the ledge, it is not time to attack. Did you earn this fair? So why are you here? Yeah. Yeah, so this was just bad. You did not earn this fair. If I see a forward air and you didn't earn it, I'm upset. I don't care if it hits or not. So, and then, yeah, there is also no reason for you to go for this diagonal angle. You should have just gone to the ledge. Yeah, no, he actually fairs you on reaction to you fucking it up. Like, he would have just gotten hit. Like, he actually, to be fair, he wanted to, and then he realized he fucked up, and he just drifted back. So that was a good recognition on his part. Like, he shouldn't have gone out there in the first place, but it worked out for him. So you basically pressured yourself into making a bad decision instead of just playing correctly. So this up air was fine. You cornered yourself with your invulnerability. So this is the exact flow chart for respawning that I would like to see from you. Put out your landing up air or your back air to make sure that they weren't on a certain section of the stage near center, and then immediately react to where they are or where they're going and move toward the corner and then put out a retreating attack that puts you at center. So move up here and then immediately jump back with a back air here. He can't hit you on the startup of this back air because so you're I want you to get too close and then put out a retreating back air. Because the downside of this is that he can hit you on the entire startup. So he's going to have 20 frames to hit you, except you're invulnerable. So you don't care. And this is exactly what he was afraid of. And like in this particular case, it would have hit him directly because he rolls here. But yeah, him doing this is him cornering himself and then rolling into center because he values stage control more than having the corner. And so now you're over here. He took the stage control. He backdashes after he rolls because he expected you to just dash attack in, and he was in position to punish you on reaction for that. And then you see him dash back again, expecting you to back air. And then now he's probably going to jump in. Yeah, so he earned this jump in. So he expected this to be a back air, which is why you see him dash back. And now that you whiff this up air, he's going to jump in. So I'm actually pretty sure that you had time to forward tilt this down here. Oh yeah, you did have time. So look at this where you input the dash after the up air. So you dashing and is what caused this forward tilt to get hit. Yep. So you had time. So you tried to dash back with stage that you didn't have anymore, and so this also would have worked if you had had stage control because he would have ended the down air here, and you would have been over here on the stage, and it would have whiffed. Well, your choice was correct. Your position on the stage made it incorrect. So, when that's the case, so this down air is when you roll in. So you either if you had stood your ground, you either stand your ground on an attack or you roll in if they're jumping. If you see them jump, you either swing or you roll in, and you mix that up. So, had you rolled in, as soon as you roll in, you just immediately turn around to the left and short hop back air in place, and then drift to the left and start up the chain. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so the paradigm in which you are making all of your decisions is what's incorrect here. So, what is more important than percent? Yes. So, here, that's good. Here, so this egg, remember how I told you ledge trapping is structured? So if you ledge jump here and buffer the ledge jump, this egg would hit you, which is why he tosses it. So he's covering buffered ledge jump, and then he's actually so this is actually really good on his part. Proud of 4. So here, this dash grab is on reaction to you picking something at the ledge because he expected you to do get up shield. So he's trying to grab you. So you're supposed to this is correct. You're just supposed to recognize that it's get up and not ledge roll. So he is supposed to dash here, but you're supposed to recognize during the dash whether or not they got up. And this is for you too, by the way. You can do the same thing. I wouldn't recommend it for now because it's more important. So Sephiroth does have good ledge trapping, but it's more important that you maintain your neutral train from the ledge trap than the actual ledge trap is. So I do. I'm sorry. Yeah, so like Tweak from this position is where he gets most of his Sephiroth mileage. You are not Tweak. The from here, or also Tweak is not playing against Tampa opponents. So he plays against people who can beat what you're doing. So essentially, you are using the neutral train gameplay, and then until we run into someone who is beating it, that's all you're going to do until you find someone who can give you a loss. So this is the process of entering tournaments. You practice, you're following your game plan until you consistently follow your game plan so that you don't have to think about following your game plan. And then you go into a tournament, and then you just play until you find someone who can beat your game plan and give you that L to learn from. And then you bring that replay back. We do this. We have this conversation where we watch this, we go over it, and we say, "Oh, well, this is what we can do in the future." And then we modify your game plan. What I don't want to say is to say, "Yeah, you didn't follow your game plan, so there's not actually anything to learn from this other than to do the same thing at square one." So there was someone at main stage who did follow parts of their game plan and lost. And they lost a very high prize tournament match for their decision. And I went over a VOD with them and I told them, I'm very happy we did this and I'm very happy we have this loss. I'm sorry you lost all that money. However, we can now make these adjustments to the game plan. And so we can actually proceed forward. And so the next time they have a main stage, the level of your play is going to be elevated enough that you are a lot more likely to win that main stage. And so, exactly, because your game plan is going to be more refined, it's going to be more effective, more powerful by that point. So, it doesn't matter where you start if you are iterating on your improvements, you will finish very high because the gains are exponential. So, it doesn't matter what the number is, it's exponential. So, it's just going to go very high. So that's why I want you to just follow the game plan. I don't care if you win. I don't care if you lose. Losing is good. Winning is just a means of acquiring a loss. And that's also why I want you to focus on taking your breaths and just playing to your best. I don't care if you win or lose. I don't care if I win or lose. I care about your play and I care about whether or not you made your play choices. So training mode is directed by your losses because we are going to focus on training up the things that you technically struggled with. So like when we finish, one of the things that we're going to have on your technical list of things to practice putting out your back airs and specifically spacing them along with the forward tilts so that your forward tilts cover both ledge roll and ledge get up at the same time. So like that is where you followed your game plan, like that forward tilt was. So you followed your game plan there. That was something I wanted to see from you. It didn't work, but we can modify that and fix it. And then your forward tilts are probably going to start working. And then we can see if there's something else that Four has in his bag of tricks to beat you getting that forward tilt. And it's probably going to be him ledge jumping. Not right away, but afterward. So I have an idea of what he's going to do to counter it. And I know how to counter that too. But until he's countering that, there's no point in looking at it because that I would say if you were more advanced in making your gameplay malleable, there would be merit in going ahead and going over what the next level of gameplay is after that. But I don't want to distract you from just playing your game plan because you are so like the level of play that we are seeing here. You have not played a full 15 seconds of correctness. And yeah, so I just want to see you play your your game plan for most of the set. And like most of our talks are going to be based around, well, why weren't you following your game plan? And it's going to be either I was stressed, I was tilted, I was under pressure. Those are all realistic things that happens more and more the higher you go up in tournament. Like some of my work with like the top 10 PGR people isn't even gameplay based because they already know what they're supposed to be doing for gameplay. It's a matter of, well, I was making mistakes because I was under pressure. So dealing with that pressure, getting that breathing in, the same stuff that we practice over here is the same stuff you're going to be practicing at the very end of the Smash career line. Like it's something Leo practices. Yeah. So essentially, this is all just one long autopilot mechanical machine. Kind of redundant. Yeah, this is all just one oiled machine. And so all we have to do is make sure the parts are working in the correct order. And so right now, you are feeding your assembly line into the trash bin instead of into the rest of the production line. And so super simple fixes, and you're going to see a huge burst of improvement that isn't going to match the rest of your improvement because the moment you start following your game plan, you're going to start slaughtering people in Tampa because people in Tampa can't beat this basic game plan. Four has not yet beat this basic game plan. So the like even here, like he got 2.5% to beat you there, and then he got this good percentage. So he goes for a good ledge trap, but he fucks it up. So what Four did wrong here is that because he plays a tether grab character, he preemptively grabs. So he is reading ledge get up because he says, if I see him do anything, I'm going to assume that it is this. But he's still doing it on confirmation. So and we can tell the difference because here, he doesn't do this until you start something. The moment he saw your character move at all, he was in there. So this was good on his part, even though it doesn't pay off for him. But this is more of what I am telling you. So Four is inarguably one of the best players in Tampa at this point. Four is not a good enough player to get through your autopilot of just back airs and forward tilts. These two statements are probably true. Unfortunately, this is not your game plan. So, yeah, you don't have to kill him. Like, you have 4.5 minutes before you even have to start fighting for time. The like he's gonna kill himself, I promise you. Like there are characters where they play this super safe neutral, and then they actually do have to fight for kills. Sephiroth is not one of these. Like that's what's so good about Sephiroth is his neutral tools kill. They don't even kill late. Like he's at 140. Do you realize I'm not ready to kill Rob with my kill throws yet? Like I'm a good 40% away from killing Yoshi with my neutral tools. And I am like I'm very far away from killing him with a raw nair. So I don't get neutral tools that kill him until probably close to about 200%. And I'm happy about that. And you're getting tilted because he's not dead at 140. So like your back air and your forward tilt will just kill him straight up if you get the sweet spot. And you can't control the sweet spot whether you go in or not because any buttons he presses is going to mess up your spacing on it. So you can't force the sweet spot. But if he jumps into it, he's probably dead on either one. And that's broken as shit. Like I can't tell you how rare that is on the cast. Actually, I physically can. I can just open up the stage list or character list. What were you saying? I'm glad. You should take notes about it. I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, you want to make sure you are writing stuff down and going over it again. Like maybe you can just listen to this on your next car ride or whatever, because you are gonna forget parts. Like I relearn parts of the game constantly. Like there's things that I learned in my first like few percent of my time playing Smash that I recently relearned. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember where I learned this. Why didn't I do that? And it's because I don't usually write things down. So learn from my mistakes. Also, yeah, I'm looking at neutral tools, and basically all of the neutral tools that kill, like all the safe neutral tools that kill, are basically on Meta Knight or a heavy character or Min Min. Except, I want to be clear on something. I think Min Min is trash. Well, I have more evidence to back it up at this point. So, like, you're gonna see Min Min players disappearing in the US at high levels of play just because the character is that bad. Like people who play Min Min, like Esam and the Buzz, I'm pretty sure they both have already dropped Min Min because the character is just not good. Like they play with the character at higher level, and both of them put time into it, and then both of them just found out, oh hey, these things aren't getting better. So like you might still see them both pull it out, but that's kind of like Esam Samus, where there's just going to be that one matchup, that one player who just can't beat Samus that he knows of, and he's going to pull out the Samus. And outside of that, you're just not going to see them use them ever, just because the character is not worth bringing out as a pocket. So, continuing on in this match, Yes. So the up air was fine. Immediately. So there's generally two key components to deciding whether or not you want a backer or whether or not you want a forward tilt. So the if they are moving at you while you put out your safe thing before, so up air is safe and he can't punish you for it. But if you try and short hop back air, he will have time to hit you before the back air comes out if he presses a button immediately. Like if he dash attacks right now, it will stuff your back air. So that means you want to dash back while forward tilting here, just because he's moving preemptively. So if you see any sign of movement during your up air, then it's dash back forward tilt. But you would prefer to put out the short hop back air for the same reason I said earlier. You get two short hop or two dash back forward tilts or three short hop back airs. So obviously one of these is uses less ammo, and then on top of that, back air also covers more space. So it's I think back air is better than forward tilt whenever you get the hitbox out, and then it uses less ammo. Ammo being defined as your stage space here. Yes, yes, because you drift less with your back. You drift less on a short hop retreat than you do with a dash back retreat. So if you see them moving, you dash back forward tilt. If you don't see anything, you punish with a short hop back air. Alternatively, if they are out of position, like you hit their shield and they're moving back, then you back air. So if they parry the back air, then you dash back forward tilt. So here, you didn't hit the shield. If you had hit the shield, I would say short hop back air. But basically, so this is not something you will be able to tell in the heat of the moment. I want to be clear on that. You cannot react to the difference here. But I'm going over the things you can react to. So here you're up airing. So you see that your up air did not hit the shield. What you cannot act on here is that he dropped shield during the up air landing. And this is why I'm saying you don't have time for the short hop back air. Is because his shield drop frames basically auto parried the up air. Does that make sense? So he effectively parried the up air, which means that if he parried an attack, then he can hit you before you put out a second back air. But if you had hit his shield and he didn't parry it, then you would have time for a short hop back air here. Can you repeat that? Yes. If he had parried the up air, let's see. What is up air? Don't we all? All right. So Sephiroth up air. It's gonna be special. Scroll up. So his up air is minus 17 on block. So if you parry that, that's minus 20. So 20 frames with Yoshi being here. So about a roll distance away, which means that you are definitely in range of an attack. So the whole point of this is that you're supposed to dash back so that you are not in the range of any of his burst. So basically, you move out of the range of his dash attack or his short hop forwarder, and then once you're out range of that, then you swing. But the reason you're inputting a dash back forward tilt instead of a dash back react then forward tilt is because you know you want to put out the forward tilt regardless, and because you're pressed for time, you want to do it as fast as possible. Now, I think that if this was like a tool assisted game, that you would not have time for this. However, what people are reacting to is whether or not they get the parry or not. And then there are going to be so you're going to basically take the 20 frames of reaction. You are going to go ahead and subtract the shield hit lag, and that's going to be 7 frames on average. So you're going to have about 7 frames. So that's going to give them about a 13 frame delay to that 20 frames. So effectively, they're going to have, uh, you're going to have a 33 frame window before they can hit you from over here. Or rather, I did that reverse. They're going to have about 7 frames. So they have enough time to get out a dash attack here and hit you, which is why you want to move out of the way of dash attack. So assume that they buffer a dash attack, move just outside of the range of that dash attack, and then forward tilt. Does that make sense? So always assume that they dash attacked after a parry. Always assume that they're going to parry, and always assume that they're going to dash attack at buffered out of that parry, and then move and focus on spacing just outside of that. And that applies to most matchups because dash attack is generally designed to be the fastest and biggest attack you can put out somewhere. Like dash attack is usually what you are supposed to use to counter people using dash back. So dash back is very broken. It is one of the most powerful tools in the game. It has fallen out of favor a bit at top level, but it is still extremely common in use, and it is a staple tool that every character uses in every matchup. But it used to be the best tool, the best thing you could be doing. So, like a couple of years ago, grand finals would literally just be two people putting baits out at each other and then dashing back after the bait and seeing if the opponent took the bait at their feint. And so they would like put out a nair that's not supposed to hit the opponent, and then they would dash back immediately to see if the opponent would try and punish their whiff nair. And that would just be top level. And I'm talking like MKLeo level. And that's what that looked like. Like that was basically the basis of his Ike at launch. Was he would just nair. And if it hit people, that's great. If people parried it, oh well. He would still dash back either way. And then he would just hit confirm. So he would see, oh, did my Ike nair hit their shield? If so, I need to dash back. Did it hit them? I'm going to follow it up with an aerial. And that was all he did, and that was all he needed. And that was enough to win majors. That's still probably enough to win majors depending on who's in attendance. And and I want to be clear, as simple as that is, I personally am not skilled enough to do that right now if I tried. So, yes, that yes. So basically what you're reacting to, you're not reacting to Nair hitting, you're reacting to what happened before the Nair hit. And you're saying, "Well, did I see the red light? If not, I assume it hit. If I didn't or if I did see the red light, then I assume it didn't hit and I'm going to dash back." But Leo did this so proficiently that it was a near 100% on reaction. Shield. So I will tell you personally that is generally how I hit confirm on things is do I see the red light before my nair hit them? If so, I'm going to assume that they parried it and I'm going to just move accordingly and respect that they shielded it. And I'm going to reset to neutral and I'm going to wait for another opening. And then every now and then I'll put out a down tilt just to make you respect it so that you don't get comfortable walking right up to me and punishing me before I put out my second nair. And that's going to be still a reasonably tight window, but for the most part, I don't care. I'm just going to spam neutral options. And then if I hit you, then I hit you. And Rob's nair is pretty easy to hit confirm off of. So I get like a nair to fair, and then depending on what your percent is, I'm going to get a fair to fair or nair to fair to fair. At which point I'm probably going to push you onto the ledge, and then I can ledge trap you. And then my punish game is really all based around ledge trapping. So everything else is just me trying to be safe and neutral and not take risks. And then if you go on ledge trap, well, there's a very reasonable chance you just died at whatever percent you were at. And that's what I want your gameplay to be because it's very powerful. It's very powerful and people can't punish that until very high level, and they're Tampa's not exactly crawling with high level players. But even against high level players, like if you were to go into Central Florida with this, it would still work. I want to be clear on that. So so you as a player are going to be able to take what this game plan, this very basic game plan, and take it all the way to high level because Sephiroth is a niche character. And so in order to beat this, you have to be familiar with it, and it's difficult to execute against, which means that people who haven't prepared to execute against it, which people don't have a reason to, are going to struggle against it. So basically, anyone who's not from like fucking Chicago is just gonna have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So like Chicago and New Jersey are gonna be the only real regions that are ready to deal with you. And then eventually Tampa will adapt around you, but we're not at that point. So, right, 1 second, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. Hello? Alright. So, continuing on to the next interaction. So here, this is correct. So technically good. And this is exactly what it would have looked like. So here, he had enough time to dash attack you. If he had dash attacked here, it would have caught you. Like your foot, probably on the opening frames of it. And then you slide down before the forward tilt. So this actually, something I want you to work on is getting the sliding forward tilts. Hmm. And the reason is, look at your footwork here. So, so you want this forward tilt when you have space because if you had slid back here, you're still going to have another forward tilt to slide back before you can't walk away. Like you can take a step to the left after doing two of these forward tilts, whereas you won't be like you're going to be cornered after the second forward tilt if you do a sliding forward tilt. But the difference is here, like right here, let's say Yoshi rolls through this forward tilt, he'll get hit. But if he rolls through after the forward tilt, then he's going to have time to shield before this. So essentially, if you were right here and you just stood there and you see him roll, you can just stand and grab it. And you're also going to be here. So whenever you are positioning, I want you to look at the three dots. So 1, 2, 3. You generally want to be under one of these 2 dots, depending on where you're spacing. So if you were right here, he would be able to short hop forward air you, but you could dash back to this dot and forward tilt, and he wouldn't be able to. Now, one of the significance of these dots is that they signify the point in which people can't cross you up on full hop anymore. Specifically, so let's say Yoshi jumps up here and he's up here. Can he cross you up through this platform? He can, but he's going to have to fall through it. So he can't attack you. Like if he goes up here, then you can up tilt and there's nothing he can do to stop you because he can't go through the platform and hit you. He has to land on the platform. Or he drifts down and he has like a full second of time where he has to fall to get through this platform. Yes. Oh, no, he can do that. It's not a matter of can he, it's a matter of can he do an immediate fast fall nair or does he have to fast fall for a while and then nair? So you'll have time. Yeah. So basically if he full hops up here, he can't full hop, fast fall forward air, and then make you guess which side he's going to be on. If you see him do an immediate attack, you just shield, and if it hit your shield, you know he's right here. Remember how I was telling you should drop forward tilt or drop shield forward tilt instead of grabbing at his air dodges because he can be behind you? So 4 was not a good enough player in this instance to cross you up there because he probably doesn't recognize it as a player that is a good mix up to have. But there's ambiguity on where he's like let's say he short hop nairs here. He can drift behind you and be over here. But most of the cast, if they short hop nair here, they're gonna drift here and they're gonna land right here. Because your body will prevent them from moving forward and they can't cross you up. I'm saying that's the best mix-up he could do here, is he could short hop and then hard drift in here, but he can't do a fast fall. So he basically loses access to tools that he normally has. So he can't short hop attack, yeah, he can't fast fall attack at all here, or he has to wait for a while and full hop up here, which is reactable. So if he full hops up here and tries to fast fall through the platform and hit you with an aerial, you can always react to that with just a dash back attack. He also can't short hop and egg you here because the egg is going to hit the platform. Yes. If he stood here and eggs, then that's good. Again, the counter for most of the things that you're doing is him to be just outside the range of your sword and throw an egg. The problem with that is that if he's doing it on reaction to you swinging, that it's not going to have enough time to hit you if you shield it. And if you ever learn how to parry eggs on reaction, then it just straight up isn't going to work on you anymore, which means he's going to have to swing the egg during your sword swing to whiff punish it. But his reward is an egg hit, whereas you can just walk up and hit him during that if you choose to, and there's nothing stopping you. Now you can't do it on reaction. It's going to force you to just like walk up to him and forward tilt right here. Like if you walk up and forward tilt, angle it up here to hit him short hop egging back to try and whiff hit you. But like if you just forward tilt where you're standing and he up B's, it'll hit the egg and it'll hit him and destroy both. And it would also probably hit him with the sweet spot. I'm pretty sure sweet spot forward tilt just straight up kills him from almost anywhere here. So you see him full hop here. So you see what I mean about how he can't drift in over here and cross you up. Like he's gonna have to hard. So if he fast falls right away, he can't. His cone of movement is gonna be this. So he can like drift up here if he fast falls. If he hard drifts over here, then he's basically gonna have to like square jump. So he'll jump up here, move, drift over here, and then fast fall down. So if you just dash back again to this point, then he can't cross you up on that either. And you can react to this full hop. You can't react to short hop very easily. You can always react to full hop. And this is a skill that has entered top level. And this is something you can learn is to react to jump squat and then recognize if they full hopped. And because here, what's stopping you from just short hop up airing? Nothing. So what he has to do to stop you is forward air where he's at and hit you here so that he can hit you going up. So if you just turn around, walk over here, and then short hop up air so that your sword is coming back this way, then that stops that down too. But he can't do that and drift over here and hit you with a forward air because of the platform. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, on the forward tilt back air spectrum, you're now going to introduce up air. Up air is specifically for when he full hops, not short hops, full hops. So if you see someone full hop, I need you to not ask yourself what the fuck they're doing. Just against 100% of full hops. If you see a full hop under any circumstance, immediately short hop up air. Or immediately turn around away from them and short hop up air. So that you're catching them with the back hit. And then just drift away from them. And then they have to full hop and then move in place or move back. But if they move toward you, same thing applies. Yeah, so this all came up because you shielded after your forward tilt. Backdash before shield. So that was good on his part. Yeah, so here you didn't actually need to shield because this you're not in air range. You're in drifting not in air range, but you could have just taken a step back here to the right and forward tilted. So basically, you just walk to the outer dot. So you walk to this dot here, and then you forward tilt to the left. Because if you dash, it's going to put you too far out. And then he would have nared. He probably would have gotten hit. But if he had just rolled back or something, he would have had that. So this back air is fine for what it's supposed to be. So the reason you back air to the right instead of the left here is because you expected. So you jumped out for this back air, reacting to him being here. And so you positioned around him being here. You're not recognizing where he can go. So this was what happens when you try to attack him. So his retreat was over here, which means that he gets away. And then because you moved toward him and not away from him, he had an opportunity to pressure you after. So now, as soon as you see him short hop your shield, there's two kinds of aerials. Well, there's three kinds of general aerials you care about. There's aerials that hit the top of your shield, aerials that hit the bottom of your shields, and rising aerials like this. So, like this nair. Let's see here. Yeah, so this hits the bottom of your shield, but because it's a rising aerial, it's treated the same as a high aerial. So high aerials are the ones that you can punish, low aerials are not. Like things that hit the bottom of your shield. So you can actually nair this nair out of shield, but with that said, I don't want you to. I want you to short hop, drift over, and back air. So whenever someone hits you with a high aerial on your shield, just turn that into neutral. Don't punish it. So high aerials on your block or aerials that are jumping, like somebody nairing out a shield, somebody fairing out a shield, stuff like that. That is not that can be an opportunity for you to punish, but I would rather you just reset to neutral. You have the same frame advantage, and that lets you just start up for free. So what would have happened here in this particular case So this is an optimal case more than anything. But here, if you just short hop over here to the left and put out a back air, he would have gotten hit by the back air would have whiff punished and counter hit this forward tilt. And it would have sent him, well, it probably would have killed him just straight up, but even if it didn't, it would have started you to put out back airs or whatever, to just swing at his recovery, and then you would have gotten a free ledge trap swing, and then you walk him back over and over and over and over toward the left side of the stage. And again, your forward tilts and back airs kill. And that back air would put him at what, about 160? Yeah. Eh, yeah. So even if it didn't kill him though, the next whatever you do is guaranteed to kill. Yeah, so here, again, so here, if you have the opportunity, just put out the back air. So you could have just put out another back air here. It would not have hit. It would have just whiffed there. And then on reaction to him full hopping, immediately short hop up air to put out another aerial here. And then he would not have drifted into the up air either. But then you drift out over here, you're here, and now you see him jump. It's not a full hop. So then you just walk. So you walk a couple steps over here, and then you time it so that right when you think his egg leg grab will finish, and you immediately turn to the right and short hop back here. Yeah, so there. If you had short hop back here, it would have whiffed. He would have been in shield. He's chilling over here. Yeah, you saw him full hop, immediately short hop up here. So this is fine. Short hop back here. That's good. Short hop back here. Oh, no. All right, so this is why it doesn't work. It's because you moved toward him. So, I yeah, if you had moved back here, he would have had time to put out another short hop up air before he could reach you with forward air. And this was fine because you saw him moving away. So, you basically if you see him move away, just take a step toward him and then repeat. So, basically, you wanna use, like, very small movement, like a single step to the left, and then go back to what you were doing. And then each step to the left, like 3 steps to the left on these 3 back airs basically puts you out here, which means your 4th step to the left earns you an extra back air before you get cornered. And so if he's trying to fight your back airs, he's basically instead of getting like 8 back airs to the corner, he's gonna end up having to get 12 back airs to corner you. Now, if he this is if he just keeps walking himself back like this, then eventually he's just gonna just very slowly walk you up to here, and he's gonna see. So the thing is because he doesn't perceive the game the same way you do, he is eventually going to make a decision based on something else in the game changing. Like he's gonna see, oh, I'm under this platformer. Oh, I'm over here now, and he's gonna think, well, that means that I'm gonna change up my game plan. And I think this read will work. And so he's going to be playing in his own head some complex game, and you're still just going to be playing retreating back here of the game. And so eventually he's going to get in his own head. He's going to make a decision and he's going to get hit. Or he just makes a technical error and he tries to parry a back air and he gets hit and then he's going to get tilted and dead. So here, this caught you out of position. So the moment he jumps over here, just roll over to the left and acknowledge your defeat. So you lost stage control because you were out of position from this back air, but you can roll left, and if he tries to be reverse egg lay here, you'll still be out of range. So that works. Yeah, so if he had B reverse egg laid you here, I think he would have grabbed you before the forward tilt, but this is fine either way. Like, it just depends on how fast you're reacting. I keep thinking back air has more lag than it does. So here, that's fine. Immediately turn left and short hop back air in place. Would have killed him here. So yeah, you're not covering ledge jump because you keep spacing to the right of the middle dot instead of the left. But see where it puts him directly under it? Yeah, so here, you see him. So this was actually a technical error on his part. He was trying to be over here to catch your ledge get up with it, and then run back here to also cover roll. So if he had been a little bit further to the right, he would have caught you before the roll, and then he still would have caught this roll if you had rolled after it. So this here is just a 2-frame attempt. You go for it again. Yeah, so this is just him literally moving out of your forward air range. And then you double down on it. Now, granted, the second forward air was a lot safer. So here, he's looking for a back air, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, no, you should have just put out a short hop back air at him or forward tilted at him and then retreated. So just forward tilt out of shield. So Yoshi's up smash. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so Yoshi's up smash is minus 24 on block, which means you just drop shield forward tilt. Or you can up smash out of shield, but I would rather you just drop shield forward tilt. So this still works, but you just took so many risks for no reason. Like if he had just up smashed after up smashing, you would have died here. And you would have felt like an idiot too. He up smashed you. Yes, I assumed you were writing. No, I was waiting on you. Yeah, no, it sounded like you were writing on the up smash. Okay. So the so here you cornered yourself, which is a fine strategy. Like I do it to you all the time. You already know. All right, so that yeah should be your stock. So here I wanted to see you. So after he hits you, immediately full hop double jump over, stay out of the range of his up air, and put out a back air onto the left platform to prevent him from chasing after you. So I'm telling you full hop where you're at, double jump to the left platform, and put out a back air to prevent him from chasing you. And that the correct solution for him is just run across the stage and up smash you into the platform. Yeah, you have one wing. That was a nice chase down on his part. And then was that the Yoshi set? Okay. So yeah, we can go over the other matches at a different point. But so what I would like to see is for you to basically just implement this game plan when you're running away from the CPUs and just stay following the game plan. And basically, when you get caught in the corner, use or mix up a forward tilt or use your shield and wait for them to do something safe on your block. And then if it was a high aerial or a rising aerial, then after it touches your shield, just full hop over towards center and put out a fast fall back air. Yes. We'll just take the throw. Are you really worried about Yoshi's throws? I said either stand your ground and attack and just accept that you can't retreat it, or you use that to wait for or to keep them from just waiting in front of your face. And you just do that once in a million. So basically, once per set or something to make them feel like you will attack. And then other than that, you just walk left and right and use your shield and wait for them to do something unsafe on your block. And it's not supposed to be your advantage, it's not supposed to be even. Basically, the whole time you're just waiting for them to do something dumb on your block so that you can reset to neutral with a back air. And then you return to your neutral train. That's mainly in the corner. Yeah. So basically, practice using either attack, shield, and walking movement. For neutral, walk toward, dash away, and then use a short hop back air with drift away to go ahead and use that. React to full hopping under any circumstance with short hop up air while turned away from them. Any other questions? Also, I assure you, as simple as that shit is, if you get that and you practice it, that's really all you need for quite some time. All right. That is more than cool. You can always message me, dude. All right. Same. I look forward to seeing Smithy 2.0. All right. Have a good day, Smithy. Get that practicing. All right. Bye.